Hello everyone, welcome to Analog IAS Current Affair Analysis for 8th December 2020. In this video, we'll be discussing about a couple of issues. The first one is with respect to empowerment of urban women, and this article is written by Jane Rias, who has been instrumental in designing the Manrega scheme, which has uplifted a lot of rural population out of poverty. Now he is coming up with a scheme that will address the urban poverty. So this is an interesting idea. Let us understand the structure of his scheme and how he is trying to empower the urban women, especially the urban poor. The second one is with respect to the idea of a lab grown meat, which has recently received approval in Singapore. Why are we looking at lab grown meat? How is it related to climate change? Let us understand in this particular issue. So, Jane Rias, who has been instrumental in drafting the Manrega scheme, has proposed a scheme called Duet. So, what is this Duet? It is called Decentralized Urban Employment and Training. This is a very thought provoking idea because, despite the fact that cities are engines of growth, there is a lot of scope for improving the employment scenario in our cities. The difference between the haves and have nots is increasing as we progress further, and the present nature of employment, which is driven by technology, is further widening the gap between haves and have nots. So we have to understand that the structure of the scheme and the motivation behind this duet is quite different from the Manrega scheme, which was designed to act as a backup mechanism in agricultural off season. There are certain number of days wherein agricultural labor will not find any job because of the off season scenario, but that is not the case in the cities. Despite this fact, they are not in a position to get jobs. The reason is lack of skills. Various reports have mentioned that in order for economic growth, India needs to work on its infrastructure. And in India, urban informal sector is very huge. There is a crisis of employment in this urban informal sector as millions of workers have lost their job due to the periodic lockdowns and may or may not retrieve it soon. Also, at this point of time, I will have to bring to your notice that this scheme produced by Jane Rias, that is the duet scheme, is not a temporary relief sort of a thing. This is a sort of a structural change which will empower millions. As the country moves out of this lockdown, our public institution, especially the public spaces like schools, colleges, health centers, have a chronic problem of poor maintenance. Now, this maintenance is a serious concern for future health benefits because they need to be cleaned, sanitized, whitewashed. All the sorts of repairing and plumbing should be needed. So there is a growing interest in an employment guarantee act, but little experience of relief works in urban areas has been pulling us down. This is where the duet scheme could act as a step towards urban employment guarantee. So this maintenance will be the way forward, at least in the short term, for urban jobs. So the basic idea here is the governments, which governments? The state governments will actually issue job stamps. They will distribute them to approved institutions like schools, colleges, government departments, etc. Now, initially, the approved institutions will be public institutions or at max private non-profit institutions, or maybe they can even be included later. So this each job stamp can be converted into 1 person day of work within a specified period with the approved institution arranging the work, and the government will be paying the minimum statutory wage. After finishing the work, the worker should give this job stamp in the respective government department to claim the wage, or we can even include the direct benefit transfer mechanism in this particular case. So, what is the rationale here? It is a win win scenario because, on one hand, this relief works will be completed. On the other hand, there will be revival for government jobs or government paid jobs for the urban poor. So there are further possibilities as well. To avoid abuse, the use of job stamps could be restricted to a list of permissible works. But the list should be fairly comprehensive and not be restricted to maintenance alone. One more care should be taken that the list of jobs that are enlisted in this schedule where job stamps are eligible, they should not replace the existing jobs. That is a non-starter because it will impact the employment scenario even further and it will lead to abuse. So basically, there should be another criteria of greater than 18 years of age to ensure that child labor is not encouraged. So the scheme would cover both skilled and unskilled workers, unlike Manrega, where only unskilled workers are there. So in this whole scheme of things, women can be given a primary role because we have seen in various studies done by UNICEF and UNESCO that if we can actually empower women, especially in the Indian context, if you can empower an Indian woman, she will take care of the entire family and the entire generation has been proven to be benefited from education and empowerment of women. So this scheme has a huge potential in changing the social dynamics as well. There is a moral dilemma involved here. Will the heads of these public institutions who give the job stamps to the poor will actually ensure that the objective is attained? It involves a moral responsibility on the part of the heads of the institutions. But in a democratic country, unless and until we trust our institutions, there is no way forward for an idea to work. This is the best way, and establishing proper accountability and transparency mechanisms by using information and communication technology is the way forward for this. So, that is the gist of this idea. Last week, the Singapore Food Agency gave permission for a sale of lab grown meat product. So, that was the first time cultured meat has been cleared for sale anywhere in the world. Now, why did we arrive at a situation where we have to culture our meat in laboratories? Why not produce them directly through animal slaughtering, etc., which are the conventional methods? The answer lies in the fact that it will lead to climate change. India has a limited amount of resources, so does the world. So we are increasing our population, so which will lead to increase in food requirements. Now, one of the major problem is since we have limited resources, we are exploiting our natural resources, which is leading to fast depletion. Say, for example, in an area there is a lot of grass, and it takes some X amount of days for it to regrow after cows start grazing upon that land. Now, what happens is, in a bid to increase the production, more and more number of cows are bred in this area without giving enough time for the grass to be regrowing at a even pace. So what this will lead to is it will lead to land degradation, and also we have seen that animal husbandry has led to increased emissions of methane. So this will increase the global warming potential of our globe. Earlier this year in June, Food and Agricultural Organization has noted that due to the COVID induced lockdown, there was a disruption in the availability of meat. So there was also a widespread fear about zoonotic diseases, especially the African swine fever and highly pathogenic avian flu or the bird flu. So this provides us an opportunity to look at the alternative meat industry, and according to a report, the sale of plant-based meats which have been available in retail outlets and restaurants since 2018 has grown by nearly 260% in the US alone. The reason why meats are important is because of the protein security. Going forward, this lab grown meats will prove to be a win-win situation for everyone because it creates employment, it doesn't put stress upon natural resources, and it creates food security as well. In fact, soya chap, which is considered to be a Indian innovation, was generally considered to be a meat substitute because of its chewiness. Now, the author compares this lab-grown meat to soya chap and tells that the success of soya chap is an indicator that we can actually make this lab grown meat a household commodity somewhere in the future, and also ensure that sustainability is ingrained in the values of the daily lifestyle of people. So that is the gist of this article.